Great stuff. We are at the UJ Library. Of course, right next to me is the co-author of the Township Economic Mistakes, and of course, we're launching the book just right now at the UJ Library. And I'm just going to ask him a follow-up questions to the discussion that we have here. His name is Letswalo, and welcome, gentlemen.
No, thank you so much. Thanks for having me, my brother.
Great stuff. Look, this book is an incredible book. Unfortunately, I haven't read it, but I'm judging from the insights that you gave through this discussion. It seems like a book that really was dedicated to looking into deeply some of the economic mistakes. But I wanted to speak about, the issue of what most people don't actually talk about, right? Which is the collective consciousness or the national consciousness, if I want to put it that way, in the context of South Africa, the national consciousness, which is, for me, the answer of almost all the questions that we actually asked today. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I think as a country, we have this tendency of being reactionarist.
Yeah.
The township economy has been with, and thanks to urbanization, urbanization, people moving from rural areas to townships for greater or better opportunities. The market has actually grown exponentially, but we prioritize things that we lose first. We don't identify opportunities in that respect. Hence why that we need to drive such consciousness, mostly that even informal vendors, street vendors should know their value before they are being replaced, because of they still have a bargain whenever they are collected together. They can collaborate together, and they can actually make a change in terms of cut and paste of what Somalians are doing. Go and stock the very same products or the very same items that you find in formal vendors, whether vegetables. You can go bulk buy vegetables, distribute them accordingly to you, and then sell it at the lower price as street vendors strictly, instead of doing it individually. Because we saw previously how the township or spaza shop business, actually we lost it through leaving it from a survivalist perspective.
Yeah.
And now we see that a mere Somalian spaza shop situated in the suburban area can actually have around 150 customers a day, which it can make about approximately gross, or a gross of maybe 50,000 a day, or not a day, a month, 1.5 a week, you see, or 1.5 a day. Because when we interviewed some of for instance, in Auckland Park, you see, it's not even the township. Just by frankly, conversing with them, we found that they actually see more than 50 customers, more than 50 customers a day, and they actually make on average 1.5 a day. And that's where now we become reactionaries. Now we see that a person is making this much a day. Now I want to open my spaza shop. Hey, before I open my spaza shop, I need government funding. I need 1, 2, 3. I want 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Of which those things before, our parents or our forefathers opened spaza shop during the most repressive era of apartheid, and they were operating them then.
Yeah.
So they didn't have hope of establishing or getting funding or anything of that nature, but they still continued. So we need to conscientize people that when the World Bank came in 2016 to say that township economy is worth 100 billion, it was actually an underestimation. It's actually more than that. And seeing the value that is very enormous, that's where our people now, they want to, they want to pull up their socks, they want to participate in this economy. But whereas they have the very same infrastructure.
Yeah. Another thing that I actually wanted to mention is that, I'm going to go back to that collective consciousness, right? For me personally, I also once embarked in a project where it was almost similar to uniting these people or bringing these people together so that we can replicate, the same strategy that these Somalians are actually doing. To your surprise, I actually invited about 40 local businesses from Protea Glen or spaza shops. So in Protea Glen there are Somalian spaza shops, and then there's black-owned spaza shops as well, but they're struggling. So I went and invited all of them to the meeting on that day, and surprisingly, there's only one person who actually pitched, right? So that tells you something about the seriousness of the people who want to move forward with business, coming back to collective consciousness. But the next question that I want to ask is with regards to the Township Act, right? In particular to the Gauteng province. One of the things that they mentioned is the fund, which is going to be assisting local people to actually move forward or take over the spaza shop, which I don't think for me is a great strategy. I just want to hear your opinion on that.
Well, I also think, and I'm going to be very bluntly in this manner, it's nonsensical.
Sure.
You understand? To lose something and then now you want to take it back. And remember, when you are giving funds for people to come and refurbish spaza shop or to transfer the ownership to native or citizens, it's not a good strategy in place, because of there are still going to be individuals, isn't it, who are going to still propel or still be impacted by the very same ramifications that impacted the loss of the spaza shop initially. They have buyback centers, for instance. They not buyback centers. They have distribution centers where you stock there to distribution centers. But look at the price and look at the products that are there. They sell, these products that are, these products that are likely to be sold in spaza shop. They don't know the product demand in specific areas. For instance, now if let's say we have 50 spaza shops that are operating in different areas, and you want them to stock the very same things, but you don't know whether their market respond or whether their market the difference. For instance, you can find that they are selling in ShopRite. You can find that they are selling fish or this rabbit meat.
Yeah.
In what's this place in Bedford Center, because of Bedford Center has a lot of people who are from Mozambique who eat that thing.
So there's a market for that.
There's a market for that. So now, if you are going to categorize or homogenize this strategy of spaza shop, to homogenize it under your sole under government presidents, it won't become a viable way. I've interacted with one of the beneficiaries who got the funding, who currently build spaza shops from Kagiso, Family Trees. That's the company. It is Gauteng is very big, and there's some ostracized areas of which, such as Winterveld, that you don't know of. You understand? And if you're going to prioritize certain township instead of others, then we won't see the viability or the impact of this initiative. And also the budget was also limited for that matter. And this issue now is going to create, and I spoke about it, controversial businessmen. People who don't have necessarily products, services,
and the know-how as well.
They just know a comrade who can, so we don't need such things. We need our people to deliberately engage with the market. And then after they have, maybe if you can consolidate that, you can consolidate them into one and fall under one umbrella of yours, where you provide them with only technical support for them to get such things such as flash machines, speed points, to be more competitive, security for that matter. These are the things that you can provide to them, unlike you wanting to rebuild what you have lost initially. And when you are allocating whatever you rebuild, you are allocating it individually. These people are going to be wiped out by the very same, because these people are organs. So it's now, when they are coming to you, let's say in an area you have built one spaza shop in Soweto, Deep Kloof, there's 60 spaza shops that are owned by non-citizens who are working together. What's gonna happen to you? Because you're going to be undermined again. You're going to be, they're going to just erase you into the market again. So you need to consolidate. If maybe you want to move the strategy, at least occupy. Start by taking places individually. Start by taking the whole of Soweto. But now you don't know where you want to go. You want to become George Four Arms, where now you want to be in Ekurhuleni, you want to be in Ekurhuleni, you want to be in Soweto, you want to be in Alex, you want to be in Tembisa, you want to be in Mabopane, in Pitori. Hey mana, we have interacted with these people, and then that clause, specifically that clause, is nonsensical. That intervention is nonsensical.
Look, I mean, hopefully we're gonna have a little bit more time. Some other time, of course, just to interact with both of them. I mean, on my further left, I have the co-author of the book as well, Kelebogile Raphiri, who is, who's a bit reluctant in terms of talking on this video, but we're hoping that, of course, we're gonna have some time just to expand a little bit more on the book. Maybe perhaps he can add a little bit of insights with what was discussed. Maybe we can stand here on the banner just for him to just give us a bit of a highlight about the event. What does this mean for you guys as the co-authors of this book?
So you're asking precisely about the event?
Of course, the event.
Oh, okay. No, man. This actually it touched us most specifically that it's more filled with young people, and we see more young people trying to actually look for avenues to contribute to the country's economic growth and development, and want to take part to the betterment of this country. So whoever says that young people are not ready to lead, I know, man, you are lying. I saw it, I witnessed it, and therefore I would like to actually encourage these kind of collaborations and sessions whereby young people come together, they communicate, and thereafter they share ideas and they share experiences and initiatives to actually further the development and the growth of this economy. Thank you.
Kelebogile Raphiri, co-author of the Township Economic Mistakes, right here at the University of Johannesburg. Thank you so much.